and he was the most valuable player in last week's Public League championship game, in which Lane defeated Prosser 49-6. On defense, number 52, Dave Loritzen, is the strong side linebacker for the Indians. He'll be in on most of the tackles. It was an offensive fumble which gave Prosser its only score last week. From Soldier Field on Chicago's lakefront, it's the 44th annual Prep Bowl. Good afternoon and welcome to Soldier Field. In this corner, Ed Brennan, and in this corner, head football coach at Brother Rice High School, Tom Mitchell. And one thing is that everyone has a lot of opinions on this game. Tom Mitchell, what's yours?
I believe we're going to have a wide-open offensive show today, and I believe the quarterbacks are going to be the difference. For Lane Tech, it'll be Mark Whittinghill. For St. Rita, it's going to be Marty Strosha.
Okay, you talked a little bit about Scott Craig before the game, and he's got some problems. He is, of course, the fine receiver for St. Rita.
Yes, Scott broke a finger on his left hand, and I expect Marty Strosha to throw a little more to his backs coming out of the backfield today.
Okay, Ed Brennan, we'll also talk a little bit about defense, considering the kind of defense these two teams played in their respective championship games.
Yeah, and one thing you've got to consider also is the size of the lines. St. Rita is outweighed 70 pounds a man versus Lane Tech. So that's going to be a big factor. Now, we won't have a weather problem out here today as far as movement on the field is concerned. Both teams are equal in that respect. We won't see somebody slowed up by snow or anything of that nature that we had last week. But that 70 pounds a man has got to mean something, and we'll find out what it does mean as we get out here and get into this ball game.
Well, there are two proud teams here, and each team has put something on the line. Lane Tech has a perfect record. Coach Pat Cronin of St. Rita's says that St. Rita never loses 2 in a row. What's going to happen? We'll bring it all to you. We'll take a look right after this.
See these battery-operated products? They use lots of throwaway batteries, and that gets expensive, even with the long-life kind. To save money, I use General Electric rechargeables. When they run down, you just charge them up overnight in the GE charger. They'll recharge up to 1,000 times and can last for years. Get the complete GE system, batteries, module, and charger. Now with a $2 rebate where battery-operated products are sold.
It's the all-out madness sale at Dave Corey Ford. I have over 250 new trucks and vans in stock that must be sold during this sale. This 1977 F100 V8 automatic, power steering and power brakes for $39.95.
High school marching band, and if you're ready, we are certainly ready for playing of our national anthem. High School marching band, and as we mentioned, it is a clear but cold day out here at Soldier Field. Of course, that's nothing unusual to us as we see St. Rita's Mustangs making their appearance onto the field from the far side of the stadium. Lane Tech already on the field. They will be on the near side. You see them huddled around head coach Ron Rio right below you. Our officials for today's game, the referee is Tom Quinn, the umpire is Ed Hassel, the head linesman is Ray Doran, the field judge is Richard Reels, and the back judge is Harold Mitchell.
One thing, Greg, they keep talking about the fact that Lane is so much bigger than St. Rita, but one thing that the writers have been bringing up is the fact that Pat Cronin of St. Rita can really inspire a team. They say he's one of the most inspiring talkers to a team before they go into a game than there is extant today. So it may well be that if he can stir them up, we'll have one heck of a ball game. Before the game, we talked to writers again, and very frankly, they were a little hesitant to do any picking. They just let a kind of you pick 'em game. They weren't kidding around about it.
I see it, Ed, as a very tight ball game. And again, you know, I can't stress the importance of the play of the quarterbacks here today. And like I said, with Scott Craig being hurt, you're going to see a lot of these backs coming out of the backfield for St. Rita and Strocia throwing to them. And I don't know how well prepared Lane Tech is for that.
Well, we've got a lot on the line today. As I said, Pat Cronin said St. Rita never loses 2 in a row. And, of course, the Public League has won this game last year for the first time in some 17 years, and they want to keep it that way. Co-captains out at midfield now. Lane Tech, number 60, is Luis Munoz. Number 17, Mark Whittinghill. Number 33 is Art Fumetto. And number 83 is Chuck Richards. Out there for St. Rita High School, 64 is Mike Rafflin. See number 47 out there. That is Joe Barry. There's some question as to whether he's going to be able to play this afternoon.
Got a knee injury, apparently, yeah. Whether he'll be able to go the whole distance is a little problematical. Incidentally, if we may, for just a moment, best wishes to Jim Barry, Joe's younger brother, who's in Christ Hospital. This is the first St. Rita game he's missed, so everybody wishes him to get well very soon.
Well, Jim is going to be happy to hear that St. Rita has won the toss, and they have elected to receive. St. Lane Tech will kick it away, and they shake hands at center field, and we'll be underway shortly. Both of these teams very impressive on the road to this game. Last Sunday, St. Rita defeated Loyola Academy 14-0. 2 fine touchdown plays and an outstanding defense shut off the Ramblers. Lane Tech, of course, been outstanding on offense and defense all year long. They have a perfect 11-0 record, and they defeated Prosser last Saturday afternoon 49-6.
And this is the 44th revival of this prep bowl game. It's been called the Kelly Bowl, the Mayor Daly Bowl, but it's always been this Catholic and Public League championship game. And this is the 44th renewal of that championship.
Number 50, Luigi Belmonte, will do the kicking off for Lane Tech. Back in deep safety for the Mustangs of St. Rita. Number 27 is Mike Murphy on the near side, and we'll have to hold off as the kickoff goes to the 35-yard line. It's fumbled there, and it looks like Lane Tech has recovered.
Little pregame nerves there.
35, Mike Rapkin fumbled the kickoff at his own 35-yard line, and Lane Tech recovered at the St. Rita 39-yard line. The first big break of the game goes to Lane Tech.
Lane Tech has come up with excellent field position. All right, their size can definitely be a factor against St. Rita's lack of size here.
He was running with the ball before he really had a handle on it.
All right, first down, 10 yards to go for Lane Tech at the 39 of St. Rita. Mark Whittinghill calls the signals, and Bob Feldy in motion, and Whittinghill to throw over the middle, the post pattern. In and out of his hands. Number 83 was Chuck Richards, and Jim Riles, number 24, was there on the coverage, and that looked like 6 points if he could have held on to it.
He had all the time in the world to throw.
The receiver there, the ball was well thrown. I think the youngster just took his eye off the ball at the last minute. Watch this.
That ball is wobbling a little bit in the air.
But it's right there.
Yes.
One thing we might mention, that receiver is also looking back into a very bright sun this afternoon. 2nd and 10, the ball at the St. Rita 39. Sanabria in motion, and the pitch to Bob Feldy. Good block, cuts inside of it to the 30, and out of bounds at about the 29-yard line, where number 42, Jeff Taylor, comes up from his safety position to make the tackle.
Well, we're looking for that confrontation now between the supposedly quicker St. Rita defense against the heavy avalanche of power that Lane has in that offensive line.
We have a flag on the play, and it's going to go against Lane Tech, which will wipe out a fine gain, approximately 10-yard gain by Bob Feldy. Bob Feldy, of course, a story in himself. He was the Public League's leading scorer, red-white division this year, with some 17, 18 touchdowns. He had 3 more against Prosser last Saturday afternoon.
Illegal motion.
That moves the ball back to the St. Rita 44-yard line, where Lane Tech will put it in play, 2nd and 15. Long count by Whittinghill, and Whittinghill pitches back to Feldy. Another block inside and out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. We talked last week about how well Bob Feldy uses those blockers, and he used them well that time, knocked out of bounds by linebacker Pat Bayers, number 61.
However, he's limping after the play there. That'd be a big loss to Lane Tech here, Greg.
Number 39, Bob Flamini, is into the lineup. For Lane Tech, he replaces number 30, Tony Giacomino, and 43, Dan Wickel, comes into the ball game for Lane Tech into the backfield.
3rd and 6.
The ball at the St. Rita 35-yard line. Big break for Lane Tech. They recovered a fumble on the opening kickoff as Whitting Hill calls the signal. The give is right up the middle, and big Bob Flamini powers his way to about the 30-yard line where number 47, Joe Barry, makes the stop.
I don't think he did not make the first down.
No, he came up short. It's going to be 4th and about a half a yard. I'll make it a little longer than that. 4th and about a yard and a half.
Joe Barry, number 47, did not play at all last week against Loyola Academy. Had a tremendous fill-in. Number 67, Mark Zavagnin, was in on just about every other tackle. And St. Rita, big play here for both teams, 4th and 1.
Rita has got to hold him to get that ball back.
Whitting Hill on the keeper, and he may not have made it. He may not have made it, and I believe the ball's going to go over. Strong middle defense on the part of St. Rita. Mike Rafflin, Pat Bayers, Joe Barry, all of them in on the tackle to stop Mark Whitting Hill. And it is 1st and 10 for the Mustangs now at the 30-yard line.
And that's got to be a tremendous morale booster for St. Rita to know they held him there.
All right, we will set the St. Rita offense as soon as we can. Marty Strosha keeps the ball and dives for about a yard, maybe 2, before the middle of the Lane Tech defense brings him down. Linebacker Ted Tim in on the tackle, number 55. St. Rita offensive line split end is number 80, Scott Craig, Vince Minich and Lance Krajacek at tackles, Brad Stubich and Pat Cleary at guards, and Jim Lang is the center. The tight end is Jim Byrne, number 85. Marty Strosha brings them up. He has John McGowan, Mike Murphy, and flanker John O'Neill in the backfield. Strosha going to roll left and look for a receiver, and he's going to keep it. 30, 35, 40, out of bounds at about the 42-yard line.
I don't think Cronin is too crazy about seeing him run with those bruised ribs. He did get out of bounds before he got hit, but he landed hard over there.
I think it was designed to be a running play right from the start. If you notice, Scott Craig on the play went right down and put a block on the defensive back.
Yeah, he did.
Strosha has enough for the first down at about the 41, 42-yard line.
He landed hard, though, out of bounds, and they were a little concerned for him because he does have those bruised ribs.
Lane's rover back, number 42, Steve Whiting, in on the tackle. 1st and 10 from their own 42, and Marty Strosha going to roll right. This time he looks for a receiver, and wide open out here is John O'Neill before he's knocked down at the Lane Tech 43-yard line. Cornerback Dave Peterson came up to make the tackle. This is a good pattern, Tom.
It's putting a lot of pressure. The fake of the backs up in there, hold those linebackers, and now we get isolated coverage out here on O'Neill.
Scott Craig cleared out the defense, and John O'Neill cut right in under him. First down at the Lane Tech 43, and St. Rita on the move. 9:45 to play here in the first quarter. Strosha, the give to Mike Murphy. Murphy across the 40, inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. John Larson, number 70, big number 70, 6'1", 225-pound senior, made the tackle for Lane Tech. No doubt, of course, that Lane Tech has the size advantage in this game. Some feel that St. Rita may be a little bit quicker, and there will be the test. Quickness versus size and strength.
Well, the quickness is paying off so far.
Second down, 6 yards to go. 38-yard line, Strosha rolling left. Good block in the backfield, and he throws it, and it is falling short, and it falls incomplete. There, trying for the interception, was cornerback Bill Moylan, number 26. That ball intended for Scott Craig.
I think we're getting a good look at St. Rita's game plan here early. They're working off tackle to the outside. They're trying to fake up in there and hold those linebackers inside so that there's no under coverage on those outside receivers.
Scott Craig just maybe used primarily as a decoy today with that bad hand.
I don't doubt it.
That ball intended for him and underthrown by about 4 or 5 yards. It is a 3rd and 5 for St. Rita. The ball at the Lane 38-yard line. And Marty Strosha with almost a straight drop. Now he rolls right and looks over the middle. And Scott Craig with the diving catch at the 25.
Can't hurt your hands that way. He took it right in the gut and just went down with it.
Excellent catch by Scott Craig.
Excellent concentration by the young man.
And the defense was coming from the outside against Strosha. He just got rid of it.
Clock begins to move now. We have 9 minutes to play in the first quarter. It is a first down. Call it the 26-yard line of Lane Tech. St. Rita having recovered from a bad break to start the ball game. Now 3 consecutive first downs. Strosha rolling left. And he's going to throw it. Throws for Scott Craig in the end zone. Touchdown! Scott Craig walking a tightrope down there.
I don't think the official was sure whether or not he was in bounds there for a split second. He wanted to be sure.
I kept looking for 2 or 3 officials. Somebody throw up your hands, do something. And by George, they finally did.
Let's take a look. For one thing, Marty Strosha got an awful lot of time, and here is Scott Craig beating his man to the corner of the end zone and just inside before he stepped out of bounds.
I think a great deal of credit for the success of that play has to go to Mike Murphy, who chopped the end on that and gave Marty Strosha enough time to throw the ball.
John O'Neill will do the holding. Marty Strosha will attempt the point after. The place down, and the kick looks good, and it is good. We have time out on the field with the score. St. Rita's Mustangs 7, the Lane Tech Indians nothing. We'll be back in just a moment.
The best tasting potato chips don't come from a store.
They're homemade.
Introducing the potato chip machine. Just put the potato in and spin. Look how fast.
40-yard line for St. Rita. Low one on the ground, bouncing and taken by Lane at the 27-yard line, and the tackle is made just short of the 40.
Another thing about Marty Strosha on that last touchdown play, he kept his cool. He was a little tempted to maybe try and run with it, but he kept looking for his receivers downfield and finally found them.
Art Fumetto with the return on that, and Buddy Brennan and Joe Barry in on the tackle for St. Rita. 1st and 10, 38-yard line for Lane Tech's Indians. Had the first big break of the game, could not capitalize on it. St. Rita came back with a 26-yard touchdown pass. Marty Strosha to Scott Craig. Whitting Hill calls signals John Sanabria in motion, and Lane jumps offside.
Right guard.
Co-captain Luis Munoz, number 60, jumped off on the play.
There were 7 plays for 70 yards in a lapse time of 1:52 for St. Rita in that scoring drive at 7-0 over Lane.
How'd you like to move the ball 70 plays in less than 2 minutes?
It was a well-executed offensive drive, Greg.
All right, 1st and 15 now, 33-yard line. Lane Tech beginning to work out of a hole. Sanabria in motion to the right side. Whitting Hill gives to Feldy up the middle, a good hole. Out to about the 40-yard line, about the 39 they're going to call it, before Pat Bayers and Greg Massajunas make the tackle. Set that St. Rita defense for you. 66 and 87, Greg Massajunas and Matt Wittry, as you take a look at Feldy going up the middle.
Nice hole there.
You know, Lane Tech has executed very well in spots. However, penalties and inability to catch the ball has hurt them.
St. Rita defense 55 and 65 are John Botica and Ed Duffy. It tackles Mike Rafflin at the middle guard. Whitting Hill gives to the first man up the middle. That is Terry Parra before Pat Bayers makes the tackle. It looks like the Lane Tech Indians want to try and see if they can run against that Mustang defense early in the ball game. We'll leave them with 5 yards to go as you take a look at the Lane Tech sideline. And that is Coach Ron Rio.
Well, unless Lane can establish their running game, they're going to have a tough time with their aerial game.
You may see some of that aerial game here. Mark Whitting Hill has a 3rd and 5, and he is on a keeper. On the keeper, and he did not make it. Fine tackle on the play by Ron Marciano, number 41, and 55, John Botica, who trailed the play and did not take the inside fake.
Oh, well, I think it was designed to come back in over the middle. I think Rita got an excellent play from the defensive end out there.
Well, let's watch it again here.
Excellent play inside by St. Rita defense. Greg Massajunas knocking down what Tom Mitchell feels a potential ball carrier. Tough to hand it off when your man is on the ground.
That's right.
4th and 4, and St. Rita will kick it away. 41 is Dave Peterson, and Mike Murphy is back in single safety for the Mustangs.
When he steps up, he'll kick it from about the 35.
He gets it away, a fine kick, spiraling down. Murphy at his own 19-yard line. Gets one block, gets another block across the 30, out to the 35. Fine return by Mike Murphy, and that is where the Mustangs will put it in play. 1st and 10, their own 35-yard line.
And there was a potential for a clip here, but he waited until the man turned around. Watch that right there. He did wait till he turned around enough, so he avoided the clip on the block.
Big number 61 for Lane Tech High School is Mike Ryan. He was in on the tackle. Marty Strosha fakes up the middle, rolls left, looks for a receiver, and he is going to be nailed behind the line of scrimmage. Fine pursuit by the Indians. 55, Ted Tim was there, so was 89, Rudy Mayfield.
He took the long way out there. He had plenty of room to run, but just did not find his receivers downfield, anybody open, so he just went out to the sideline.
I think the success of that play was based on the way the defensive end from Lane Tech handled it. He did not pinch down, but rather forced the quarterback to take a deeper route.
And I believe we have an official's call on the play. They're going to march off about 15 yards against Lane Tech. Going to bring it close to midfield to the St. Rita 38-yard line, and we'll wait for the call.
And that makes it 1st and 10. Holding. That's a bad break against Lane when they had just broken through and gotten to Strosha for a loss there, only to have the whole thing nullified, and a 1st down gain by St. Rita.
Lane may be feeling the jitters here. They played a near flawless game last week against Prosser. Marty Strosha going to roll right this time. Throw back to the left, and it is complete. And out of bounds to John McGowan, number 33, the tailback.
Nice timing on the play and a lot of time for him to throw.
I think we're seeing St. Rita's game plan coming out here. They're not going to Scott Craig, but rather they're bringing those backs out of the backfield. In fact, that last holding call, the linebacker held McGowan as he was trying to get out of the backfield, and that was the reason for the flag.
Cornerback Bill Moylan knocked him out of bounds at the 44-yard line of Lane Tech, 2nd and a short 2. And the give up the middle is to McGowan, and McGowan punches through to the 40-yard line, and that should be enough for a 1st down. Co-captain Art Fumetto making the tackle for Lane Tech.
Well, with 6:13 to go in this 1st quarter, it is something that, very frankly, I didn't expect. St. Rita is dominating this thing right now.
Number 70, John Larson, out of the ball game for Lane Tech, and coming in is number 85, Brian Johnson, tight end on offense. Marty Strosha up the middle, John McGowan. McGowan has room to run. 5 tackle. Oh, Art Fumetto went down low, and John McGowan went up high, and that was the result.
78 is hurt. John Chaplin is hurt. He's coming off the field under his own power.
And limping a little bit on the sideline, he's going to sit down and take a rest. Gain of 8 for John McGowan, make it 2nd and 2 at the Lane Tech 32-yard line. St. Rita leading 7-0, driving for more. Strosha, Mike Murphy. Murphy with a hole across the 25 to the 24-yard line where Ted Tim made the tackle for Lane Tech.
And another 1st down for Rita. They're driving. They already lead 7-0 in the 1st quarter.
Another 1st down. They're going to place it at the 24-yard line of Lane Tech. St. Rita with another 1st down. They must have a ton of 1st downs in this 1st period.
Lane has got to clamp down here.
Marty Strosha to Mike Murphy. Murphy 5, 6, 7 yards inside the 20, and a penalty marker flies.
It's in the defense. We'll find out.
That may be a late hit on the part of Lane Tech. We'll have to wait for Tom Quinn's call. The ball is now at the 18. It's a personal foul against Lane Tech. That will move the ball deeper into Lane Tech territory. Let's take a look at it. There's the tackle, and there's the late hit.
I think this is all part of the frustration that's going on out there on the part of Lane. Rita's mixing up their plays very well, keeping them off balance, and the kids from Lane Tech seem to be a little frustrated right now.
And it's another 1st down inside the 10 at the 9.
Marty Strosha waits for orders from the sideline, and number 60, Pat Cleary, hauls him in from coach Pat Cronin. Lane coaching staff headed by Ron Rio watching intently. 1st and goal, St. Rita from the 9. The give up the middle, Mike Murphy. Murphy battles his way for 2 yards, probably no more than that. Or a swarm of Lane Tech Indians led by number 72, Marshall Cheatham. I saw Marshall Cheatham before the game down on the field, and look at his stats. They're very believable. 6'2", 260 pounds.
We're down the goal line situation, and they're playing full house down here. They'll probably be running to the left away from Scott Craig because of the injury.
2nd and 7. The fake up the middle. Strosha carries outside. Touchdown. Beautiful fake into the line by Marty Strosha.
It is now 13-0. Watch Strocia. The fake handoff into the line, then he sweeps the left end. Nobody is near him.
Oh, John O'Neill carried that fake out beautifully, right into the center of the line. Lane Tech went for it, and it was 6 points for St. Rita.
You know, Marty Strocia was written up in the paper as feeling that he was kind of a goat last year in last year's game, and he swore up and down he was not going to be the goat this year.
I don't think there's ever a reason for a young man to feel that way. This is a team sport.
Marty Strocia's kick is up and good. 4:26 to play here in the first quarter. St. Rita 14 and Lane Tech nothing.
And I don't think anybody would have guessed that.
I think as you get down to the high school level, and Tom, we were talking about this before, the unpredictability of the inconsistency sometimes of kids at that level.
That's correct. Momentum, if you want to call it, or intensity, whatever you want to name it, it's always there at the high school level, and is a tremendous factor. Now, the big thing for Lane is not to panic and let this thing snowball on them.
Well, they said that Pat Cronin could really inspire a team with his talks. Apparently, he's got another patent on that thing for today.
Well, I'll tell you, the biggest mistake that any of us or anyone in this stadium could make is that Lane Tech is out of this game, I know Ron Rio knows that he isn't, and certainly Pat Cronin hasn't even let that enter into his mind. St. Rita 14-0 lead, and Mark Strimmel will kick it away.
4:26 to go in the first quarter.
John Sanabria is one of the deep men, and it is taken by Sanabria at the 15th, across the 25 in the big hole. John Sanabria! John Sanabria! One man, Jim Riles, taking to cut him off, and he is pulled down at the 1-yard line.
His knee hit at the 1. Wow, a foot race. Sanabria found his opening, went down. One man had a possible shot at him and didn't get him. Another man came from out of nowhere, and they finally caught him.
John Sanabria took it at the 13 and rambled right up the middle. One man misses him there, and he breaks into the open at midfield. Now watch, kicker Mark Strimmel, number 3, and number 24, Jim Riles, will come from behind, and they will drag him down 1 yard short of the end zone.
There's the unpredictability of high school football.
86 yards. John Sanabria has put Lane Tech back into this ball game, and Mark Whittinghill will call the signals from the 1. The give up the middle, 32 is Terry Parra.
He did not make it.
Terry Parra stopped short of the goal line. Stopped there by number 42, Jeff Taylor. Safety man came up to make the stop.
St. Rita stopped them before when they were deep in their territory. Not this deeply, however.
Make that number 80, Scott Craig, in on the tackle. 1/2 yard, about 6, not even that far. Second down, Whittinghill fakes to Feldy, throws this side and overthrows his intended receiver, 85, Brian Johnson, the tight end.
He just lofted a little soft pass as though there was supposed to be another receiver out there. I was wondering if he was held up at the line or what. He was supposed to, I think, the way the thing developed, like the quarterback expected his receiver to be further out.
39, Bob Flamini, 220-pounder, has come in at the fullback position. As you take a look at the scoring drive, St. Rita took 7 plays to go 65 yards.
Third down.
Whittinghill on the signal, and the give to Bob Feldy. Feldy into the end zone. Beautiful blocking on the left side of the Lane Tech offense. John Miklaszewski, the left tackle, and Rich Wiederer, the left guard. They opened a huge hole that you and I could have run through.
Had to walk through it.
Bob Feldy, 5 blocking up front, and Bob Feldy in the end zone. I'm sure that makes that Lane Tech bench feel a whole lot better.
Oh yeah, they're back in the ball game now. 14-6 the score.
Luigi Belmonte does the place kicking for Lane Tech. We'll see if they're going to go for 1 or 2. It looks like 2 points. And they will start it from the near hash mark.
Now Rita's got a clamp down here. It may mean a lot in the future of this ball game.
Whittinghill with the give. The give inside, and it powers over for the conversion.
On second effort. He was stopped about 1 yard out and finally drove forward to get it across.
Ball carrier was John Sanabria, a man who set that all up with an 86-yard kickoff return. We have 3:23 to play in the first quarter, with St. Rita now leading Lane by a 14-8 score.
You know, Sanabria did that all last week, too. The moment you hit him, he began to drive even further. And we were considering him up here in our booth as a potential most valuable because of his extra drive he put in it. And he did for the 2 points here. He was stopped at about the 1 and just kept on driving.
been handed a note that is the most points that Lane Tech has given up in one half this year. 14 points, and there's still 3:23 to play. That says something about St. Rita, and it also says something about the way that defense has played this year. Luigi Belmonte doing the kicking, and 27, Mike Murphy, is back to receive, along with 42, Jeff Taylor.
Now, they squibbed it last time, and St. Rita fumbled it.
Again, a low one, and is picked up, and it is dropped, and it is dropped again, and this time 44. That is, who is that for St. Rita? That is Mike Kingsbury.
We
Finally
almost had a
fell on the ball
replay.
at the 33. Whew. Art Fumetto, number 33, in on the tackle for Lane Tech. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line, we will call it, and the clock starts to roll at the snap. No, it'll start to roll now.
That'll make a coach chew ulcer pills.
For sure.
Oh.
Number 16, Marty Strosha, the St. Rita quarterback, is the give as the second man through. John McGowan into the center of the line before he's brought down by Dave Loritzen, strong side linebacker, number 52. There you see number 78 for the Lane Tech Indians, and that is John Chaplin. He's 6'1", 215 pounds. Looks like he's got a foot problem down there in the...
Yeah, the ice pack under the left ankle there, or left heel at least. Foot is resting on it.
Weather probably doesn't make it feel any better. 2nd and 5 at the 39-yard line. Marty Strosha, the give again up the middle. This time it is Mike Murphy, and Murphy is corralled down there.
They held a team meeting on his body, but he still picked up a couple of yards.
Luis Munoz, number 60, on the tackle. Gain of 2, call it 3rd and 3 at the 41, and looks like that Lane Tech defense may have taken a little hard from that drive.
I think that touchdown was needed by Lane Tech, and certainly it's going to help them in terms of their team effort now.
And Rita would love to keep this one moving, just to drive it back down their throats if they can.
3rd and 3, big play. The pitch back, John McGowan. McGowan with plenty of blocking. Turns the corner, 1st down yardage, midfield, out of bounds. Out of bounds, about half a yard short of midfield. Art Fumetto, the safety man, knocked him out there. Enough for the 1st down, and we'll take a look at it.
Watch him follow his blockers, and the blockers are working.
Good block by Mike Murphy. John O'Neill also with a fine block. Out of bounds, the clock stopped, 2:02 to play in the 1st quarter. 1st down at the 49-yard line for St. Rita. And the Mustangs on the move again. They lead 14-8. Strosha fakes inside, now the pitch back, and a fine grab by Mike Murphy. He's got running room, 40, and knocked out of bounds, knocked down at about the 37-yard line. 41, Dave Peterson with the tackle.
Boy, he did a juggling act with that ball. He ought to be in somebody's circus.
27 is Mike Murphy, and Mike Murphy, of course, the most valuable player in last week's Catholic League championship.
Watch the last-minute pitch back and the juggling. He finally gets it and finds room.
Lane's number 76, Big Fred Reed, forced that play. It is 1st down at the 36-yard line, and Strosha to throw, and he's being rushed. The pass outside, incomplete, intended for John O'Neill. Luis Munoz in very quickly on the quarterback.
Now, they broke through quickly on him. You didn't get a chance to get set at all on that one.
No, on previous situations, Lane has been pinching the end down, which has permitted Strosha to get to the outside. There, Lane used the end to contain Strosha and force him to set up inside where Munoz could get to him.
Tom, I have a hunch that when a team jumps out in front like St. Rita did, and the other team is set back on his haunches, that's where a lot of the coaching comes in, too.
For sure. Well, a lot has to do with the character of your kids at that point, too.
Marty Strosha with a quick out pass to Scott Craig on the near sideline. He's out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Short of a 1st down by about a yard. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Again, we're in that position that St. Rita would love to keep this drive moving.
And there is our ground level camera minicam crew, headed up by Ken Harvey, giving you those ground level shots. Ken's looking for a warm place on the field down there. There is no such thing.
Have you ever noticed wherever Ken walks, everything tilts his way? 240 pounds.
3rd and 1 for St. Rita from the Lane Tech 27-yard line. And Lane Tech trying to stand up and say no right here. Strosha over the middle, and it's down low and incomplete. Intended for number 85, Jim Byrne, the tight end. Dave Peterson right there to break it up.
There would be no chance on that reception. It was just thrown short. Because he was getting the rush put on him again.
And Jim Byrne covered like a blanket as well.
Strosha didn't have a chance to set his feet to get back there with the ball.
Now we have a 4th and 1 from the 27, and St. Rita will go for it here with a minute and a half remaining to be played in the 1st quarter. 44th annual Siege Football Championship, St. Rita and Lane Tech.
What are they going to do, fellas?
I think Strosha will keep it. Strosha does not keep it. He gives it right up the middle, and Murphy bounces off. Did he get enough for the first down? He is out of bounds at the 22.
Yes, he's got the first down. Good second effort by Murphy.
How familiar did that look?
That looked a little like the Loyola game.
Last week's touchdown where he bounces off after the hole is filled up. This one he didn't spin out of it. He just kept on coming. Last week he spun out of it.
Mike Murphy out of bounds at the 22-yard line, and there is an official timeout on the field.
And that's disheartening as heck for Lane Tech.
It looked like Lane had stopped Rita for the first time in the ball game. And Murphy bounces off and goes outside and picks up the first down.
That is
Fumetto is hurt.
Co-captain Art Fumetto, safety man, right. And he's being helped to the sideline.
I think it's a breath situation. He got the breath knocked out of him, the wind knocked out of him. When they bend over like that, and he's able to talk to people, but it's like he took one in the gut.
Into the ball game is number 34, Richard Strapp, 5'7", 150-pound senior, also operates out of a running back
First and
position.
10 on the 22.
Dave Peterson has moved over to a safety position. Marty Strosha fakes and wants to look for a receiver. John McGowan trying to throw a block for him, and he's going to be forced out of bounds.
McGowan did give him time, though. He held onto that. Well, that's the wrong word to use. He stayed with his block.
Marty Strosha, for looking for a receiver downfield, could not find one. As we take another look at it, and that is not John McGowan.
No,
that was number 73, Lance Krajacek. And now it is 2nd and 11 from the 23. He lost 1 yard on the play. Art Fumetto back in the lineup at the safety position for Lane Tech. And Strosha going to roll right. And again, under a heavy rush, he gets it away, and it's intercepted.
That had to happen if he kept throwing. But that defense all over him, he just has been pumping it out there.
Steve Whiting, the rover back, was right there, and Marty Strosha had to unload under a heavy rush.
There wasn't a red jersey around.
There it is, and there you see Steve Whiting, and he slips and falls at the 13, 14-yard line. First down, Lane Tech. That is a big play for both St. Rita and Lane Tech.
It certainly is. Rita had a drive moving, and that blunts it like nobody's business.
Mark Whittinghill calls the signals, and John Sanabria in motion to the far side, and the give is up the middle, and now to the sideline, and nowhere to go is Bob Feldy. Before he's cracked out of bounds, he may have lost a yard on the play. Ron Marciano, number 41, right there to make the play for St. Rita. Well, prior to that interception, Marty Strosha was having a good day passing, 5 of 7 for 70 yards. Now he's got an interception chalked up.
It should be pointed out that's the first time that Lane Tech did stop Rita all day.
Rita has only had, so far as I remember, 2 running situations where they lost yardage.
Those coaches really pick those things up, don't they? 2nd and 10, Lane Tech, their own 14, operating out of a hole. We're under the 1-minute mark here in the first quarter. And the give is to Bob Feldy again, a little hole over the right side, across the 15, 3, maybe 4 yards. Looks more like 17-yard line.
That
3rd and 7.
Rita's defense is working. It's a smaller line against a much bigger line, but it's working so far. 3rd and 7. 34 seconds, 33 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. St. Rita leading 14-8 over Lane. They're going to throw on 3rd down here. Long yardage, 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7, that's pretty deep in their territory to throw. We'll see what Mark Whittinghill has in mind. Whittinghill's going to throw. Looks for a receiver over the middle, overthrow. No, he's got him! Beautiful! 85 is Brian Johnson, the tight end. I was looking at Chuck Richards, the split end over the middle, and he threw a little deeper, just a simple crossing pattern.
Yes, he was just running a deep post pattern there.
And from our vantage point, he was covered by 2 red jerseys. I didn't even see him in the midst of those 2.
You watch, there's Richards down low, and there's Brian Johnson on the receiving end. Up near midfield, he's brought down at the 45-yard line.
Well thrown ball by Mark Whittinghill.
Big play for Lane.
That is the end of the first quarter with the score St. Rita 14 and Lane 8.
From Hollywood, it's the $100,000 Name That Tune.
Tonight at 6:30 here.
He buys countries as easily as he buys women, but can he stop the crash of '79? Paul Erdman's The Crash of '79, now in paperback.
Sweetness is an iron-on celebrating Walter Payton's historic 275-yard day. Get your iron-on in Tuesday's Chicago Tribune.
What's that noise?
The plant communicator.
The what?
The plant communicator. Listen. It's telling me this ivy's over-fertilized.
You're kidding.
No, listen. This bromeliad needs water.
It measures fertilizer and water?
Yep, both.
That's super.
The plant communicator. It's unique and it's fun. But it's not just for fun. It's for your plant's good health.
Now available at these stores.
First play of the second quarter has just taken place, and Bob Feldy was thrown for a loss by St. Rita's defensive end Matt Wittry, number 87. Take a look at it. Here's the handoff to Feldy.
Watch him break through. There he comes.
Good play by the Mustang defense. That will make it 2nd and 11. Lane Tech operating from its own 44-yard line. Whittinghill, there's an unusual formation. Whittinghill with the give now to Feldy again. Feldy trying to find some running room, and he doesn't find it.
Closed it down. The blocking did not work.
Excellent defensive pursuit by the whole St. Rita defense.
Charge led by number 66, junior end Greg Massajunas. Take a look at the total yardage in that first quarter, and clearly dominated by St. Rita. 83 yards rushing, 70 yards passing for a 153 total. Lane with 30 yards on the ground and another 28 passing, 58 yards, and I'm sure Ron Rio would like a little more production than that on offense. Clock running, we have 10:45 to play here in the first half. St. Rita 14, Lane Tech 8. The Indians with the ball at their own 43-yard line. 3rd and 12 facing Mark Whittinghill, and he will drop straight back to throw. Good protection. Over the middle, complete. Brian Johnson inside the 45 to the 43 for another first down. Ron Marciano made the tackle.
They got it when they had to have it. That was long yardage, and he got it on the pass. They're throwing into the sun, incidentally.
Right over the middle, and there's a wide open Brian Johnson. And Jeff Taylor and Marciano in on the tackle. That is a first down for Lane Tech at the 43-yard line.
A definitely needed play by Lane.
On that particular play, Joe Barry slipped down. I wonder if his knee didn't give up. I see him leaving the ball game right now.
Joe Barry limps to the sideline. He's replaced by number 67, Mark Zavagnin. Whittinghill.
Flag.
And a flag on the play, and that play will not count.
Flagging that it was thrown in the defensive backfield, but it's going to be against Lane.
That will be a procedure call against Lane Tech, something the Indians probably did not need right about now.
Well, now, even last week against Prosser, Lane had a number of illegal procedure calls. It seems like they're going on a real quick count, and they haven't been set for that full second before the snap.
You take a look at that Lane Tech huddle, and the offensive players hold hands in the huddle, as the Chicago Bears do and a couple of other professional football teams. Big number 72 is Marshall Cheatham. 6'2", 260-pound senior, and you know there's some college scout somewhere licking his lips. Whittinghill going to throw. Looks for a receiver and throws it down the field for Sanabria.
He stepped out at about the 17 or 19-yard line. See where they mark it.
That's the same play that Sanabria caught for a touchdown against Prosser.
Marking it out at the 20.
Here's Whittinghill, and it was just a quick right up the sideline for Sanabria.
Sanabria came out of the slot and flowed to the outside right up the field, whereas the outside receiver ran a curl and took the defensive back inside.
And had he been able to just maintain his footing, he'd have been clear on into the touchdown.
Man in charge of our stats, Tony Perry, says that was good for 28 yards, a 1st and 10 for Lane at the St. Rita 20-yard line, and the Indians are on the move. Mark Whittinghill calling the signals, and he gives right up the middle. Number 30 is Tony Giacomino, and he has a couple before Mike Rafflin wrestles him down at about the 18-yard line. 17. Call it a gain of 3, make it 2nd and 7.
Well, again, now, St. Rita has really got to go to their mettle here. They've got to stop them, or Lane is definitely going to be back in this ball game with the potential for going ahead. St. Rita leading now 14-8.
I'm happy to say that this has turned into the football game we've expected.
Yes.
A lot of offense.
2nd and 7, clock running, about 9:22 to play in the first half as Mark Whittinghill set to put the ball in play, the fake, and another whistle.
I think they jumped off. Lane jumped off. It looked like the interior left side of the line went off first.
They will step it off against Lane Tech.
That has got to hurt Lane when they get a momentum going like that.
procedure goes against Lane. That will back them up 5 yards and make it a 2nd and 12 from the 22.
It is things like that that made for a frustrating season with the Chicago Bears, remember? They'd get a move going, and then all of a sudden, some kind of a holding penalty or an offside.
That's what they are paid not to do.
Exactly.
Clock starts again, 9:15 to play, 2nd and 12. Mark Whittinghill, straight drop back. Gets good protection and throws over the middle. Chuck Rashar is the intended receiver out of the right side. He is the split end, covered on the play back there by number 61, Pat Bayers, a linebacker, junior linebacker who dropped back.
It was just overthrown. He was over his head. He extended his arm trying to get it, to knock it down into possession, but he couldn't do it.
Joe Barry still on the sideline for St. Rita, and St. Rita going with a couple of junior linebackers now, and Pat Bayers and Mark Zavagnin, who looked pretty good last Sunday, incidentally. 3rd down and 12, Mark Whittinghill probably will go to the air again. Bob Feldy out of the backfield, and he is the intended receiver, and he's way overthrown. Jim Riles with the coverage on the corner. Senior cornerback Bob Feldy right out of the backfield, headed for the corner of the end zone. And Mark Whittinghill just didn't have time to wait for him to clear.
No, he didn't. Here's where that penalty is starting to hurt him. They had a very nice drive going, had 2nd down and 8, and all of a sudden the penalty, and then they had 2nd and 13, and now they've thrown the ball twice, and it's been incomplete. He's got to come up with a big play now.
Well, the coach just sent in a play from the sidelines. See what the coach sent in. With 4th and 12.
Mark Whittinghill, 3 out of 6 in the passing department for 70 yards. He will no doubt go for his 7th aerial of the day here. 4th and 12, and the pitch, no, it's a razzle-dazzle play. John Sanabria back to the inside, gets a block and cuts down. He is not going to make 1st down yardage. Jim Riles there for the tackle. At about the 15-yard line, he comes up about 5 yards short. It will be 1st down for St. Rita. The ball goes over. Not a bad play, though, out of the Lane Tech playbook.
No, but an excellent play by Riles. He stalled the play and gave his defense a chance to pursue it.
And it's an excellent situation for St. Rita, even though they're deep in their own. They stopped the drive of Lane in that particular series of downs.
St. Rita ball, 1st down, their own 16-yard line, and they give us to Mike Murphy. Mike Murphy looking for running room on the outside, turns the corner and brings it upfield. Across the 30, out to about the, no, they're gonna call it down at about the 27-yard line.
That
76,
Murphy,
Fred Reed trailed the play and made the tackle.
Murphy can really break it for you.
Here's Fred Reed fighting off blockers coming over. He is number 76, and he catches up and collars Mike Murphy right there.
But they got out of that deep position in their part of the field, and it's 1st and 10 for St. Rita.
11-yard gain on the play by Murphy. 1st down, 27-yard line. St. Rita with the ball and a 6-point lead.
And you saw the defense jump and make contact.
And I just saw Ron Rio turn and walk the other way on the Lane Tech bench. What makes you angry during a football game, Tom?
Those penalties and fumbles will do it every time.
That's a quick and easy way to pick up 5 yards because it's 1st and 5 now for St. Rita's.
Ball moves out to the 32-yard line now for the Mustangs. 8:41 showing on the scoreboard clock to play in the 1st half. 44th City Championship football game. The Mayor's Prep Bowl. Marty Strosha with the handoff, and that's going to go nowhere. The give was to number 33, John McGowan, and linebacker Ted Tim was there on the tackle, number 55.
We got a 2nd and about 4.
You know, we play almost a quarter and a half, and not one of us has mentioned how if we're cold or not.
This is not bad.
No, it isn't.
No, by comparison with the last 2 weeks.
Well, that's all the excitement out in the field that's keeping us warm.
That must be it. 2nd and 4, Marty Strosha, the give up the middle. John McGowan got a couple of yards across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Make it 4th and 1 at the 36. Marshall Cheatham made the tackle, number 72. It will be 3rd and down.
3rd and 1.
3rd and 1. How about it, Tom? Are they growing them larger these days?
Kids, I think, in general, are larger than what they were, say, 10, 15 years ago. In fact, more agile, too.
St. Rita has crossed the 100-yard rushing mark for the day, and a big hole for Mike Murphy.
There he goes again.
Mike Murphy busting through a big hole on the left side of the line out to the 48-yard line, and that is enough for another 1st down as we take another look.
Nothing fancy, just a straight-ahead dive, and Murphy read the blocking well.
They needed yardage before, he got him 11. They needed yardage again, and he picked this up for a 1st down.
Clock still running. St. Rita chewing up a lot of the clock. 7:20 to play now in the first half. And the give is to Mike Murphy. And Mike Murphy across the midfield mark down to about the 48-yard line of Lane Tech. It'll be 2nd and 6, a pickup of 4.
Well, there's 7:08, 7:07 to go in the half. I'm sure Rita would like to go into the half leading, but I don't know that they want to settle for 14-8 the way they're going here.
Marty Strosha doing his best to up that lead. The handoff now, Mike Murphy. Mike Murphy breaks free across the 40-yard line down to the 39 of Lane Tech.
First down.
Art Fumetto was the man hanging on to bring him down. Mike Murphy really piling up the yardage. He's a deceptive runner.
He's a strong youngster, all right? He's built very close to the ground and has got tremendous agility.
Clock continues to run, 6:37 to play in the first half. St. Rita first down at the Lane 39-yard line. And Strosha sticking to the ground. Mike Murphy this time piled up at the line.
They were waiting for him. Murphy is listed at 5'8" and 185 pounds. So he's like a fire plug in there and maintains his balance very well.
There is big Marshall Cheatham, number 72, is right there to bring him down. Not much you can do about that. He fought off a good block, too. Big at 2nd and 10. No gain on the play. The ball at the 39 as we approach the 6-minute mark here in the second quarter. Marty Strosha, the give, a dive play off the left side, and that is number 33, John McGowan, and John Larson made the tackle, a pickup of about 4.
Very big play coming up now for Lane Tech.
Yeah, if they can stop him here.
Right.
Making a pickup of 3, 3rd and 7 at the 36.
Lane has got to get that ball back to them now so they can get back in this ball game. They're losing 14-8, and we've got 5:40 or so to go till the half. Lane wants the ball back. Rita wants to keep this drive going. 3rd and long.
And Marty Strosha
almost mishandled the snap. There's 2 flags down.
It may have been a late snap from the center there.
Right. It certainly wasn't a clean snap. He bobbled it and then just tried to sneak back up inside and get as much as he could.
Assuming illegal procedure against St. Rita's. And Lane's crowd has something to cheer about here. There's this mishandled snap.
And Marty Strosha could go nowhere as Luis Munoz came in on him. It is now 3rd down, 12 yards to go situation. The ball now in play at the 41-yard line.
Will he throw it here and take the chance?
I think he'll go up top with it.
Far left side, Scott Craig. And Marty Strosha drops straight back.
Here comes a screen.
And the screen is to, who is that? That is Mike Murphy.
Mike Murphy.
He just threw it too short, and Murphy had to sit there and wait for that ball to come to him.
And Fred Reed was waiting for Mike Murphy to come to him, too. He made the tackle on the play, 4th down, and Mark Strummel or Marty Strosha, either one. It looks like Mark Strummel will kick it away.
This is Mark Strummel's first punt of the day.
See the angles
those coaches, you can't beat that natural knowledge. You know that? He just
see the angles it. Or we'll just try and kick it as far as he can.
I'm sure he'll put him down in the hole, that's for sure.
Mark Strummel will get it away close to midfield mark. And a high snap. And Lane Tech will,
kick.
Look at the kick all the way into the end zone.
He darn near kicked it off the field.
That went about 50 yards from scrimmage.
Well, considering he kicked it from, we'll say, his own 45, it went almost out of the end zone.
And Lane Tech will put it in play 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, and they have 4 minutes and 45 seconds to make the 80-yard march downfield.
4:45 to go in the half, 14-8 to score.
We don't have a bad crowd here today, you know that?
No, that strategy they use as far as admission, it really worked.
It's a nice idea, too. Mark Whittinghill calling the signals, and he gives to John Sanabria, and John Sanabria doesn't get anywhere. Pat Bayers, number 61, there to meet him on the tackle, along with number 55, John Botica, and a host of other Mustangs.
Sanabria had a secret, and they tried to pry it out of him. Everybody wanted it from St. Rita's. Boy, hello.
I want to pay tribute to our spotters today, Lane Tech's Gus Anderson and St. Rita's Scott Melito up here giving us a hand.
2nd and 10, Greg.
Gus is a sophomore at Lane Tech, and he'll be back on the Lane Tech sidelines next year. Whittinghill to throw. Evades a rush, can't get it away. Evades another tackler. Mike Rockman is after him. He can't reach him, and he's finally met. Flag. There's a penalty marker on the play. Matt Wittry finally made the tackle.
And I guess you'd have to say either holding or clipping. But we'll see what they call it. They almost had Whittinghill twice back there, and he just kept spinning away from their grasp. They're talking to St. Rita. Clipping against Lane.
And that is going to hurt.
Oh, is that
Lane
putting him
Tech.
deep? Let's see if we can pick up the clip here. Here it comes, right there, right there.
Greg
Hit it from
Massachusetts
the
was in
back.
pursuit, and he was clipped from behind, and that moves the ball back. There's some hesitation on the part of St. Rita, wanting to know whether they wanted it 3rd and 10 or so.
Well, there's 4 minutes to go till the half. It's 2nd and 22.
Actually, on the play, it should be half the distance. And I believe the ball is at the 20. It should be on the 10, and they've got the ball down about the 7.
2nd and 22, 8-yard line. The pitch is to Bob Feldy. Bob Feldy looks for running room, uses a block, and gets across the 10 out to the 13-yard line.
I'm sorry, let me back myself up on that one, all right? It came from the spot of the clip, which was half the distance, all right? The clip was somewhere around the 14, 15-yard line.
Okay.
All right.
Mark Savagna made the tackle at the 13-yard line, and it will be 3rd and a long 17 yards to go. And we have seen Mark Whittinghill does not hesitate to throw from deep in his own territory.
Well, he's deep in his own territory. If he's going to pitch one out, he's going to have to do it now.
He's completed all of his passes right out over the middle, too.
It's very important they pick up a first down here. Otherwise, St. Rita's going to end up with excellent field position and with an opportunity to score just before halftime.
If he throws, the reception's got to be beyond the 30 to get the first down.
John Sanabria in motion. Chuck Richards is split to the near side here. He rolls left, and he's under a heavy rush, and he throws it up for grabs.
And Rita bats it down a flag.
We will wait for the call.
Interference may be called here.
That is an interference penalty going against St. Rita. Will be a first down for Lane Tech.
We're going to be short by about 2 yards, Greg.
Well, where did it happen?
No, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Oh, they don't get possession in this.
It's going to be 3rd and about 2.
Pass interference, the call against St. Rita. We will take a look at it. Mark Whittinghill getting it away and really throwing up a blimp.
Oh, again, I stand corrected. Automatic first down.
And it looks like the call will go against Ron Marciano, who is right on the back of Chuck Richards. 1st and 10 now. Lane at the St. Rita at their own 28-yard line, and the clock starts at 2:59 to play. And up the middle goes number 30, Tony Giacomino, brought down by Pat Bayers, number 61, in there on the tackle.
I tell you, Tom, I'm impressed with that lighter St. Rita players against these much heavier Lane players. They are holding their own on defense out there.
Well, it's the quickness. And you've got to realize that defense is a team game, all right? You can block one man, but if somebody else is hustling, they can offset that.
Good point. 2nd and 7, the ball at the 31-yard line. Whittinghill with Giacomino and Feldy behind him, and he's going to throw. And he goes to the sidelines for Richards, just off of his fingertips. Chuck Richards, intended receiver on the play. Number 41, Ron Marciano, was there for the coverage.
Got it down to 2:23 left in the half.
Well, you know, you look at the youth on that St. Rita defense, and they are going to be set for the next couple of years. Greg Massachusetts is a junior. John Botica is a junior. Mike Rafflin's a senior, as is Matt Wittry. But Pat Bayers and Mark Zavagnin, those two those two juniors, both linebackers there.
You had to remind me of that, huh?
You're going to face him again.
3rd and 7, the ball to 31, and the pitch to John Sanabria. Sanabria cannot find too much running room before he is knocked out of bounds by Savagnin. Number 67, and there you see him.
One defensive man stacked up the offense.
Here you see the pitch to Sanabria. Sanabria cuts inside of the block right there. But there is also Mark Savagnin. Boy, what a fine football player he is.
4th and 5, and they're going to kick.
Dave Peterson, number 41, is back to kick it away, and Mike Murphy is back in single safety for St. Rita.
The wind is not a factor out here so far this afternoon.
And there's another fine kick. They'll spiral it down, and Mike Murphy wants a fair catch at his own 23, 24-yard line. Clock stops with 1:38 to play in the half. It will be a 1st and 10 for St. Rita, their own 24-yard line. And
well, if Rita can start chewing up the turf again the way they had, they'll also eat up that clock and go into the half with a 14-8 lead. They've been able to do that this afternoon, to punch out the yardage and keep control of the ball.
I get the feeling Pat Cronin isn't the cautious type, that he'll get all he can get here in this last minute 38. Here's the pitch to John McGowan with blockers in front of him, and he can't cut inside. He goes back outside, and he has a couple of yards before he is finally brought down by linebacker Dave Laritzen.
Good defensive flow by
and Dave Peterson at corner. So I think we saw that also. Prosser failed to break a real solid long gainer last week simply because Lane Tech flows so well along that defensive line.
It's closer to a 2nd and 7. Scoreboard has a 2nd and 8, but I think it's closer to a 2nd and 7 for St. Rita.
The Lane Tech defense, all but one, is a senior. Fred Reed, big number 76, is a junior. The rest are all graduating, as are linebackers Dave Laritzen and Ted Tim, and the entire safety. Ron Rio's got a lot to choose from, though, as the handoff goes to John McGowan, and a gain of very little.
He got to the line of scrimmage, and they just dumped him back. Pick up not even a half yard.
We are under the 1-minute mark here, and it will be 3rd and 8, and St. Rita calls a timeout. We have timeout on the field with 55 seconds to play here in the first half. St. Rita 14 and Lane Tech 8. Let's take a second to talk about Brother Rice High School. Tom, how many players are you losing this year? How are you going to look next year?
Well, every year we lose a good number of kids, but we play a lot of kids, Greg, and you know, I never worry about how many kids we have coming back because youngsters always seem to be able to rise to the challenge.
The name of the game is to try to get everyone to play.
That's correct.
And you'll get more kids out for the team if they figure they've got a chance to get in the game every now and again, too, Tom.
St. Rita breaks the huddle, 55 seconds to play. The clock will start at the snap of the ball. It is 3rd and 8, 26-yard line, and Marty Strosha just might throw it. John O'Neill in motion. Strosha, straight drop back, looks to the side. Not Richard, that is Scott Craig.
And he made first down.
Dave Peterson there with the coverage, and he went to the yard marker and got out of bounds, and that is enough for a first down. Take a look at it, just a quick drop back and a simple out pattern by Scott Craig, and he is belted out of bounds there by Dave Peterson, who is a tough cornerback.
And that Craig is some kind of a catcher. Boy, he's a good receiver.
So's Thurman Munson.
Yes. Yeah, all right.
First
Craig
down.
is only a 6'1" and 175.
1st and 10, the ball at the 34-yard line. The clock will start at 51 seconds. Strosha, straight back, looks downfield and throws long. Jim Byrne trips and falls.
They ran into each other. It's going to be interference at the 40.
This will be an interesting call.
No, I think he's going to call it on the defensive back, all right?
The defensive back was disgusted with himself after the call, so it's got to go against Lane. They're unhappy, and St. Rita's very, very tickled about it.
It's going to give him a first down up near midfield.
I had thought that maybe Jim Byrne had tripped on his own accord, but I'm not sure.
No, I think the defensive back got position in front of him and then just stopped.
Can't do that, huh?
No.
Oh, can't do a pick like basketball, huh? Oh.
You got to make it look like you're going for the ball when you slow down.
I see.
All become members of the drama department.
That explains a lot of things in my athletic career.